What's up, guys? Happy Sunday. Sunday fun day. I hope everybody's had a good week. I know I have. I hope my students have had a great spring break. It was the college's spring break this week, so it was a pretty relaxed week at work. Not too much going on. Obviously, I'm not at the gym today. Went to the gym yesterday. I didn't take the camera with me. Just wanted a day to kind of hang out and not really have to worry about like what was going into the vlog and things like that. But I did want to make a quick little video kind of answering a question. One of my subscribers had commented and asked me a question on my last video in terms of kind of what it takes to get an accessible van and sort of the process. So I wanted to talk a little bit about that on like what it takes to actually get an accessible vehicle. So let me give you perspective from my experience. So everybody's experience is going to be different. So if you happen to be looking for an accessible vehicle, your experience might be a lot different from mine. So I just kind of wanted to put that little disclaimer out there. When I was about to enter college, I signed up for vocational rehabilitation. So basically what it is for people that have physical challenges, mental challenges. They will help you find a job. In my case, what they did for me, they helped me pay for part of my college because I am in a wheelchair and did want to get into the workforce. So they helped me with that. I got some scholarships through them with that. But the biggest thing that they did for me when I was 22 and finished college, they paid for my first vehicle. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to finish college before they will pay it for a vehicle for you. As long as you're old enough to drive, they should be able to pay for a vehicle for you. But they will only do it one time. So what happened with me when I was 22, I took my first driver's test, passed it. So that's the first thing you have to do is get your permit. Then once you pass the written test, what they did for me is they paid for me to have a driver's evaluation. A lady came from Georgia. Karen was from Georgia. She evaluated me in terms of like what type of vehicle I needed. So could I transfer from my wheelchair to another vehicle? And that answer was no. So I'm not able to transfer myself at the moment to another vehicle. Plus, I use a power chair anyway, and if you transfer to another vehicle, you've then got to get your chair into the car, so that just wasn't going to work. So for those of you who can transfer into another vehicle, your stuff may be really simple, as in all you have to do is pay for the car, then you'd have to pay for hand controls. And hand controls, if they're manual, they can go, I think they range anywhere from like $2,000 to $6,000, kind of depends on what you need. And then the electronic controls, they can go anywhere from like 60,000, 60,000 to 100,000. We first figured out that, of course, I'm not going to be able to transfer. So we knew I would need a van. We knew that, so we started looking into vans. My parents had some college money set aside for me that they never had to touch because of the scholarships that I had received. So they used part of that money to pay for the van. And then Vote Rehab actually paid for the hand controls. So during the driver's evaluation, what they do is they test your cognitive ability. They test pretty much your common sense, your road sense, and they also like check your strength and things like that, because part of the equipment can help you if you have difficulty with your strength. There's equipment out there that can help you. For example, what we got on this vehicle that I have now is zero effort steering, and what that means is it was really easy for me to be able to turn the steering wheel, whereas most vehicles have power steering, which is hard to do. I've actually been able to transition since then to low effort steering, so it's a little bit more, but it's not as much as a regular vehicle. Now, to be honest with you, I'm pretty sure I could drive a normal, like, power-based steering, no problem. We also had to lower the floor in the van. So basically what that means is they take your van once you figure out what kind of equipment you need, and I needed the electronics. So my equipment was $60-something thousand that Vote Rehab paid for. Once they bought the equipment, we sent the van off. They had the floor lowered, and the equipment was installed. So all in all, the van I have right now is $100,000. it's a $100,000 vehicle. That is the purchase of the van, the electronic hand controls, and then the lowering of the floor and putting the ramp on. So, yeah, I have a very expensive vehicle. This time around, Vote Rehab is not helping me pay for a new vehicle. And there are resources other than Vote Rehab if you've never had an accessible vehicle to help you get one. If you are on Medicaid, you can go through the Department of Disabilities and they have a waiver that can help you with that. Once I started working, I lost my Medicaid and all of my disability benefits. The only thing that I do have, I pay for out of my own pocket, which is Medicare, and that supplements my insurance that my job provides for me. And to me, it's worth it to pay for that. But yeah, once I started working, like, I lost everything, all those benefits, but I wouldn't trade it. I enjoy working. I enjoy being able to be a productive member of society, and the way I look at it is my needs are going to be met one way or the other. So basically, with my van right now, it's due to be updated. It's 12 years old, and then the equipment is, it's 12 years old also, and so it's on its last leg. That's how long the warranty is. It's actually out of warranty, and instead of updating the warranty right now, I'm going to try to just go for a new vehicle pretty soon. So that leads me to getting a van evaluation, which I told you guys about last week. Now I'm going to have to pay for that out of pocket. That is $500. So basically what he'll do is he'll come to my hometown, he'll come to my house with an accessible vehicle with different modifications. So he'll test me to see if I can get something different. And so basically I'm hoping to get manual controls. And so those are only, like I said before, $2,000 to $6,000. So that's not as expensive as electronic. I'm trying to stay away from the electronic. The reason the electronic was chosen for me in the beginning was because I just did not have a lot of strength. And so the electronic controls were my only option. Now there's several different options, and I'm pretty sure I can do the manual controls. So now I'm going to have to pay for a vehicle, the vehicle itself. The conversion is $25,000. So I know I'm going to have that ahead of me to drop the floor and put the ramp on. That's what conversion means. And then hopefully I only have a couple more $1,000 in the hand controls to do. I would strongly recommend, if you are looking into getting an accessible vehicle, I would strongly recommend that you get evaluated first to see what kind of hand controls you do need. Some states do not require a person in a wheelchair or with a physical or mental struggle to get an evaluation, which I think is the dumbest thing ever. I think you should be evaluated so that you know exactly what you need to get, because the way my driving instructor explained it to me when I first met her, she said that driving shouldn't be something that wears you out. It should be something that, is easy for you and you can get from point A to point B. So who knows, there might be some technology out there for you that's going to make driving a lot easier and not so much of a hassle. So I would encourage you to get evaluated, and you can do that, like I said, if you've never had a vehicle before, never driven before, you should be able to, as long as you want to work, you should be able to go through Vote Rehab no problem. Or if you are disabled and you're on Medicaid, you can go through your Department of Disabilities, and they should be able to help you. Otherwise, you're going to be in the boat that I am in, which is where nobody really can help you anymore because you work, and so you're kind of left to your own cost. So that's kind of where I'm at, and that's where a lot of people are at, and it's unfortunate. But to me, like, my best friend said the other day, like, driving for you isn't just, a privilege. It is your one source of, like, sanity and independence, and it's true. So, I want to be able to drive. I'm gonna figure out this money situation for sure, and I hope this answers some questions for those of you if you are looking to be able to drive. Also, for the conversion, there are two big companies. One for those of you that want to look it up, one is called Braun Ability, BRAUN, and then ability. And then the other one is VMI. I'm not sure what VMI stands for, but if you type in like VMI van conversion, it will tell you. Those are the two companies. I'm going to try and stick with Braun just because that's what I have on my van now, and it's what I know, and it's what works. And I'm sure VMI is just as good, but I like Braun. And I believe in, if it's not broke, don't fix it, and I'm going to stick with what I know. One of my viewers had said that she was told she had to buy the vehicle first. And I wouldn't do that just because what if that vehicle isn't the vehicle that you actually need? Like, what if you do need something else? And then you've got a vehicle that you just purchased and is wasted. I mean, I guess you could sell it, but who wants to go through all that mess? So that's just my advice. But if you have questions or anything, please let me know. I will see you guys next weekend. I hope you have an awesome week. I will talk with you soon. And remember, there's nothing you can't do.